friends, welcome back to my channel here at True Reality Life, where we talk about, learn, and grow from the true realities of the life around us. So I missed it last episode, but I really want to do it this episode and continue it on. Just starting with our 3 deep breaths together here before we start our conversation today. So let's just start with a big inhale through our nose and an exhale through our mouth. Last one. That always makes me feel better, especially when I'm the one talking. I know it may seem like I'm super comfortable talking, but we all get our jitters, so that always helps me, and hopefully it'll help you get into the mindset of listening and making some intentional changes in our life to improve mental health. If you didn't watch last week's episode, feel free to go watch that. It was all about how we need to listen to our body, because I have been not a great example of that lately. But this week we're diving right back into our last habit of improving mental health, which is why technology is killing your mental health. I know there are so many benefits to technology, and I appreciate them every single day as I have my camera in front of me, my laptop in front of me, my phone in front of me, and anybody that's watching right now is literally watching because of technology. There's not anything I have against technology. We love it. It has improved our lives dramatically. There's been such an influx of being able to connect with people across the globe and things like that, improving our work systems, for me personally within the hospitals, for all these big business industries, banking systems, everything like that. There has been such an improvement because of technology, but the offside to that is if we don't set boundaries for our technology and how much time we're spending on them, on our phones, on our laptops, everything. Even our cars have become completely devoted to technology, which is crazy. But if we don't set limits and boundaries on that, it can literally take over. I know we've all watched the AI movies and things like that, and that's not necessarily what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in your everyday life, how we're letting technology overrule our life and our mental health. How many times can you sit there and think how many hours you've spent of your life just endlessly scrolling to no end? There was no goal, there was no learning, and even I sometimes make the reasoning of, oh, most of my feed is advice and learning and all of that. Or we're watching our mental health blogs and podcasts and things like that. But we have to set limits on these things. We can't just endlessly scroll and waste our life away on as a couch potato. I mean, you can if you want to, but I don't control you. But if you're looking to improve how much time you spend on technology, we're going to just go through why our technology is affecting our mental health, why you may not feel yourself, why you may feel lesser than or putting yourself down because of how much we're devoting our lives to technology. So let's dive right into, we have seven reasons we're going to dive into today of why technology is killing your mental health. Then we're going to talk about some things we can do to kind of put those boundaries in place, just some examples that we can fix going forward to get away from these negatives technology is bringing into our lives. So we're going to start off with our first thing of why technology is killing your mental health is because we're always switched on because of technology, and it is literally draining you. So think about it. Your phone is usually always with you, and notifications are on. You're waiting for emails, text messages, new post uploads, all of the things that you're just waiting for. You're always on. So that's almost creating a 24/7 availability, that you are saying, I'm available 24/7. If your mom calls you in the middle of the night, or your best friend calls you or texts you or something like that, going through a crisis, whatever it may be, you are always available because there is always a means to connect to you by. Whereas before technology, you're not always available. Like, if you're at home or you're across town and people can't get a hold of you, you're not available. This makes you available 24/7. Even when you're sleeping, if you have notifications turned on, that means it's going to wake you up if it's that important. So you are always on, which means that your cortisol levels, your stress levels can always be heightened, because you're always looking out for that notification. There's no rest. There's no, okay, I'm just with myself. It's always, well, somebody could text me and it completely changes my day, or I get a work email. I have this all the time. If work starts coming into my home life and I stress out and I let it get to me, even though I'm not at work, but I start stressing about things at work even whenever I'm home with my family. So that is reason number one, is we are always turned on, which is exhausting, is absolutely draining you. Reason number two is our social medias, our comparisons is dramatically decreasing our self-worth, because what you're seeing on your social medias may be this perfect life of relationships, families, like goals, #goals, or whatever it used to be, that you're literally comparing yourself to this edited version of people's lives. And what's wild to me that I've noticed in my life is, with my ex, I felt the need to post so much more, even though we had so many problems going on. Like, I would post the perfect meals we were cooking, the healthy meals, whenever we'd go work out or gardening or traveling or all of these things, which, granted, yes, there were a lot of things to appreciate within that lifestyle that I was ultimately bragging about, but it didn't shed light on any of the negatives, which there were so many. Yet with my current husband and my family now that I've built, I rarely feel the need to post. I'm like, I'm so busy living my life to feel the need to post and brag about it. I'm like, I'm enjoying it. I'm living through every moment, which is crazy, because so many people tell me, I thought you were so good with your ex. You've always posted these adventures you would go on. Like, y'all seemed so happy. So whenever it ended, people were really thrown off by how much bad was going on in that relationship. So it really made me question all of these people posting their lives on social media. Is it to compensate for something else? Is it they're just trying to get, the likes, the attention that they may be not getting in their home life, that they're deprived of? But yet we're sitting here and we're comparing ourselves to those edited images, those edited videos of the top highest points of these people's lives. And we're saying, oh, well, mine doesn't compare to that. My house isn't that clean. My kids don't behave like that. My relationship isn't going like that. I don't get to travel as much, have a biggest house, have a nice car. When some people, what if they have the nicest car, but they have no money in the bank? They can't even pay their bills. They're stressing about everything else. You don't know what's going on or why they feel the need to brag about all of that. So it's wild, though, how much we rely on technology and let that influence our view of ourselves, because we're comparing to everybody else. So our satisfaction level and our mental health is plummeting the more that we look at other people and compare ourselves to those other people who are just giving you the tiny sliver of their life that seems perfect. That being said, that influences our mood, increases our anxiety and depression, because say you're feeling good about your life and you're like, okay, let me just scroll through social media real quick, and you see your friend who just got the latest and greatest car or computer or whatever, and you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I could afford that. All of a sudden your mood completely shifts. So you were fine and now you're down, depressed, hopeless, and you want to be a couch potato because you have no motivation or drive to do anything, which our mood does impact us. And a lot of the times our human tendency isn't, hey, let me work harder so that I can achieve whatever this goal is that I see of other people. It's usually becomes more of a woe is me mindset of, oh my gosh, I'm not good enough, I don't have a good enough job, I'm not making enough, rather than the mindset of, hey, I can do that if I wanted it bad enough. So that's something to think about. But that's reason number 2 is our social medias are killer. Comparison, self-worth, all of that is just completely destroys our mental health without restraint, that is. Next is dopamine addiction. So this kind of ties in with our reason number 1. So dopamine addiction is destroying our mental health, and it's so tied in with technology because the creators of our social medias and our phone notifications, they thrive off of this. Our addictive tendencies to this technology, to our dopamine. So what this means is every time your phone goes off, every time you get a like or a comment or a text message or something, you hear that ding, dopamine hit. Dopamine is released in your body. If you get 10 likes on a photo, 100 likes on a photo, oh my gosh, your dopamine is going through the roof, let alone if it's more than that. That's why these social influencers, they thrive on this because their phone can literally be blowing up with notifications of hopefully most of the time positive things, but just that notification sound in general releases so much dopamine in our body, which is going to make us crave the next one. We're waiting for the next one. We're waiting for the next. It's an addiction because that's what dopamine does. Any addiction is based off of the amount of dopamine that's released. So even drugs, they're highly connected to your dopamine release. And now you're just waiting for the next fix. And so many people rely on this within technology because of all those notifications, the likes, the attention that's just building your ego, making you feel good. So where social media may be the comparison aspect makes you feel low, if you just post a bigger, better picture or edit yourself up a little bit and make yourself look nice, now you're trying to compensate for that comparison that may have lowered your self-esteem to give yourself that dopamine hit of waiting for all those likes and comments. Oh, you're so beautiful, of all of these things. But we become addicted to that. And that's not healthy because now we're just waiting for the next fix rather than having a consistent self-reliability on being confident in ourselves, not relying on external sources, but knowing that we're good enough without all of those dopamine fixes. So even like the overstimulation of videos, scrolling, people have curated their videos on what's appealing to you. So like the, hey, watch this, or don't scroll, or whatever it may be, or something that's getting your attention. Or you notice on, I know on my Facebook, I don't know what other apps, but that they show you this repeating like cover image for videos that it's like shows you a very enticing something like, oh, why did somebody cut off their finger or something, I don't know, something to grab your attention, but you don't see the full video. You have to actually click on the video to watch the remainder of that. That is pulling at those strings of like, oh, I need this dopamine. Oh, what's going to happen? Oh, I'm on the edge of my seat for every video. And that's how you end up scrolling. And that overstimulation is causing a whole different issue because it's releasing all this dopamine, but then whenever you don't have that, you feel at a low. You feel depleted because you were riding this wave of dopamine based off these videos. That's why it's so hard to get away from the endless scrolling, because say you're scrolling and an hour disappears. You're like, oh my gosh, I really need to put my phone down. You put your phone down. Okay, now what? You feel empty. You feel like, oh my gosh, like, ugh, I just feel gross now. You pick your phone back up and keep on going to fill that dopamine that's now empty once you put your phone down. but it's so hard to break away from. But it's literally killing your mental health because you're not leaving any space, any room to actually work on that self-confidence. Okay, so we've gone through 3 reasons technology is killing your mental health. Reason number 4 is sleep. Oh my gosh, sleep. Technology is killing our sleep. And I know I've always had issues sleeping because of back problems, things like that. But oh my gosh, you know, we all hear that blue light is destroying our sleep and, oh, get away from your phone, put your phone somewhere else. All of the things. But it's so true. Chemically, the blue lights on our phones are turning off the chemicals that are supposed to be released to sleep. So blue light is saying, hey, wake up, it's daylight, we're supposed to be awake right now. So the hormones that are supposed to be released to be like, hey, you're sleeping, the natural melatonin and all of those things to help you sleep, they're being turned off because, hey, you have this light in your face, it's daytime, it's time to wake up. Then you have all these dopamine hits, you have all this overstimulation that you're just scrolling through on your phone. So now you're full pumped up of all this stimulating hormones rather than your sleepy hormones, right? You're full of your fight or flight, you're ready to go. But that's not helping with sleep. And it all ties together because then you're addicted to the dopamine. So you're like, why would I put this down and try to go to sleep? And every time you try to, then you're like overthinking. You're like, oh my gosh. So you just pick back up your phone or a notification goes off, right? The second you put down your phone, it's ding, ding, ding. Something else to get your attention. Hey, I'm over here. Pick me up. Pick me up. And we give in almost every time. It's like an alcoholic sitting in front of a drink. And that drink is just calling their name. Hey, pick me up. I'll make you feel really good. Your phone is doing the same thing because it's an addiction. The second you put it down, it's, hey, I'm right here. It'll take 2 seconds for you to feel better. And we almost always give into it. But chemically, that screen, man, it's turning off your sleep hormones and it's making it so hard for your brain to shut off. So we just keep going, right? You'll be on your phone for hours. So many people I hear, I go to bed, I get into bed at 9 or 10, but I don't actually fall asleep till 1 in the morning. Yeah, well, what were you doing? Probably on your phone, scrolling. We all have this bad habit. I know I'm guilty of it a lot. I've tried to switch to my Kindle that doesn't have the blue light to read before bed or even a physical book sometimes, and that usually helps me. But man, losing sleep can really mess with your mental health because you cannot focus on your mental health. Just like if you only have 2 or 3 hours of sleep, do you think you can go run a marathon the next morning? No. Do you think you can go work out as well as you would have on more sleep? No. It's the same thing with your mental health. Working on your mental health, like a workout for your mental health, takes energy. Sleep deprivation does not work well with trying to work on anything mentally, emotionally. Because your body is so focused on just trying to function using whatever reserves you have left that you haven't refilled by sleeping. You're running on fumes and trying to run a marathon. You're running on fumes and trying to do a workout, trying to regulate your mood, trying to pay attention and implement all of our mental health habits that we've talked about. But you're on fumes. It takes energy to do those things. You need sleep. And we're not getting enough sleep because we're depending on our technology and letting it take over. Okay. So that was reason number 4. Now we're moving on to reason number 5. Let's see. Reason number 5 why technology is killing your mental health. Distraction. Digital distraction is completely hindering your productivity. Have you noticed? If you're sitting there trying to study, trying to do a project for work, trying to write an email, trying to anything, and your phone goes ding, you may ignore the first one, and it goes ding ding. You're like, man, what is that? Maybe it's an emergency. Maybe it's, I don't know, what if somebody needs something? What if I don't respond in time? So next thing you know, you keep looking at it. Are you focused on that project anymore? Are you being as productive as you could be? No, because there's so many other things distracting you. There's these notifications going off, or you may get other emails while you're sending an email. There's so many distractions that come with technology that keep us from staying focused and being productive. Distraction is the killer to productivity, because in order to be productive, you have to be able to focus. Your brain functions better being able to focus on one thing and one thing alone. People that say, oh, well, I can multitask. Technically, your brain cannot multitask. I'm sorry. Like, there are already so many things going on within your body that your brain is focused on. Your external focus is switching. If you're doing two things at once, your brain is switching between the two things, trying to give 50-50, but there is no person who can literally do two things at once and give 100% of themselves to both things. I would much rather focus on one and focus on the other. Easier said than done, for sure. But that's impossible when we have all these distractions at our fingertips. So that makes it really hard if we're trying to be present in our work and give all of our attention to something. And there's always this thing sitting right here saying, give me attention, give me attention. It's like a toddler. Have you ever tried writing an email with the toddler being, Mom, 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 Mom? It's so hard to focus. And that's exactly what our phones are doing to us. So we need to set some boundaries there. We're aware, we'll get to that, okay? So that's reason number 5. Let's move right along to reason number 6. We're almost there, because there's so many reasons that technology is killing our mental health, and that's why we're here today. So reason number 6. Oh, I hate this reason. I talk about this with my patients all the time, that despite having technology and the ability to connect, we are more lonely and disconnected than ever. I have a really bad habit of this, that I'm a terrible texter. I suck at responding to texts. I rarely answer phone calls. I hate talking on the phone. I personally would much rather have a conversation with people in person, but it doesn't always happen because life is busy. But you would think that families would be more connected, friends would be more connected, but they're not. Most of the time, if you ask people, we're so disconnected. There are so many older patients that I hear talk about how disconnected they are with their kids and grandkids, despite a phone call being one click of a button away. That's it. Yet we don't do it. We don't connect like we used to. We sit in our own world, scrolling endlessly, feeling, woe is me. I'm sad, depressed, lonely because I'm not like the person I see on social media. Maybe I should post something. Have you ever posted something to social media before responding to text messages? And you're like, whoa, maybe they're gonna be mad at me because now they know I'm on my phone and I just didn't respond to them. I know I've done that a few times. But it's really sad how despite texts, phones, phone calls, social media, there's so many means to talk to each other, and we just don't. We don't have those deep conversations. People's conversations have become very surface level. How many friends do you have that the only connection you're making is reels that you're sending each other? But there's no actual deep conversation. When was the last time that you had a deep conversation about how you're really feeling or something that was stressing you out without it just being venting? Like you actually know why this person is the way that they are. Because so many friendships are so surface level these days. Family relationships so surface level these days. But what's really sad about it is our mental health and the way that our brain was made is founded on human connection, of connecting with one another on a personal level. right? Feeling seen truly, not just, hey, I got a like, because once that's gone, it's gone. That dopamine it's used and it's gone now, versus true human connection of having that conversation face to face with somebody, crying with somebody, embracing somebody. All of these things our brain is craving, and we're just unable to do that over a phone. Like, oh, I hug my phone. Like, no, you feel nothing. There's no warmth. There's no love there that we once had. Human connection is so important to our mental health, yet we have very little of it. Most people feel so uncomfortable to talk about their feelings, to hug other people, to say I love you to somebody. Like, it's just become such a different world we live in because of our technology creating that distance between true human connection. Okay, and last but not least, this kind of encompasses all of the above. Our seventh reason here today why technology is killing your mental health is the amount of anxiety it produces, right? So you get that text, you get that phone call, kind of like we were talking about, and you're like, oh my gosh, what if I don't say the right thing, or I don't respond in time? What if they don't like me? You know, what if I posted something to Facebook but I didn't respond to their text? What if they think poorly of me now because now they know I'm on my phone? What if I don't respond to the email fast enough because now you have the means to respond at your fingertips? So you choosing not to respond is a choice now. It's a choice that you're neglecting these people, your friends, your family, and that creates such anxiety of what if I'm not good enough? What if I'm not doing enough? What if I'm scrolling too much, right? You sit there and scroll for hours. Oh my gosh, I should have been doing laundry. I should have been doing this. Da 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 da. And you're so reliant on this. It's creating anxiety within yourself. And rather than focusing on the anxiety, what do? We distract ourselves more. We get back on our phones, on our YouTube videos, and we scroll endlessly, get our dopamine hits, distract ourselves from doing something productive, because now we're overwhelmed. This anxiety has taken over our body, and we're overwhelmed anytime we're not distracted. Why would we get off our phones that's allowing us to be distracted and keeping us distracted from the real problem, from our anxiety, from issues that we're having? Why do I need to focus on my issues and be sad and overwhelmed if I can just scroll endlessly and look at other people's lives and live vicariously through other people and be jealous and sit and not do anything about my own life? So many of us do this. So many of us sit and feel the need to always be present on our phones, like we're not good enough, we're not going to respond fast enough, we're not going to be available. But that's not true. It's okay to take time for you. It's okay to take a break from our phones. I promise it would be such a benefit to your life and the quality of your life and your mental health to just set some boundaries. So now that we've gone through our 7 reasons why technology is killing your mental health, these reasons are based off of unlimited technology use. So we have no awareness, no intention of stopping. We've just let it take over. But we don't want that, because now we're sitting on our couch, endlessly scrolling, feeling like crap about ourselves, feeling anxious, not productive, all of these things. But we don't want to feel that way anymore. We want to take control of our lives again. We want to improve our mental health. You are on this journey. You are watching this video for a reason, because you want to reclaim your life. So let's run through a couple strategies to reclaim your mental health today and be a better version of you, and set some boundaries on technology. Utilize technology for what we need it for, not what we want it for, not to distract us from what's going on around us, but so that we can experience life to the fullest. Enjoy our life around us, because there's so much we are missing out on, man. So some boundaries we can set with our technology, specifically our phones, is just being aware and putting our phone down during certain times of the day. So whenever you first wake up, don't get on your phone for the first 30 minutes. Set a timer. You wake up, get on it. Set a timer, 30 minutes. I'm not going to scroll. I'm going to go drink some water, eat breakfast, maybe go outside, take some deep breaths. Go through the habits that we've talked about in previous videos, like make some time for you just to be with yourself before you get on there and start getting anxious and comparing yourself, right? Maybe set your phone down during certain times of the day. Meal times are very important. Connect with your family, right? Just be present with yourself. Before bedtime is an important one, so we're not depriving ourselves of sleep. Try to plug your phone in somewhere else and read a book, or just do some yoga, stretches, deep breathing to relax, get your mindset going that sleep, it's time for sleep now. Relax your body, release those hormones that will help you sleep instead of stay awake and be anxious. Maybe have some areas in your home that are screen-free zones, the bathroom, the kitchen, stuff like that. Your bedroom is a big one because so many people will just lay in bed and scroll and scroll and scroll. Being aware of those things can help you dramatically to be intentional with 30-minute breaks, right? Eat for 30 minutes. You go out to dinner with people, please don't be on your phones, y'all. Even having your phone on the table, that is just waiting for it to pick me up, please, y'all. Another limitation you can apply is putting maybe a filter on your feeds on Facebook or Instagram or wherever you're scrolling endlessly to be more positive and uplifting. Somebody that you find yourself constantly comparing yourself to and feeling bad about rather than motivated by, maybe don't follow them anymore. Follow somebody that's going to uplift you. Follow mental health pages that might give you some tips and tricks of how to be a better you. Maybe some inspirational quotes or daily living or your interest, something you're interested in, gardening or cars or whatever it may be. Follow some more of those accounts that motivate you to be a better version of you rather than putting yourself down. So that's another way that you can reclaim your mental health by setting limitations on these technology. Another thing is have alternative measures close by, right? So you put your phone down and then what? There's nothing else to do. So what are you going to do? You're going to pick up your phone, right? Maybe have a word search or a book or go outside. Something that's close by, that's easy to do, that you can switch it out for. A good in-between, right? To transition off of technology. So I have books in every room because I love to read, to where I can switch to a book, or I have crochet projects or different things like that. Or I love to go outside, so I'll go outside and leave my phone inside, right? Right, I try not to stay out too long because of that anxiety that's still there. Oh, what if somebody calls me and it's important? I get that. But at least taking 5-10 minutes to just reclaim your life and your time with yourself away from your phones. So those are just a couple things you can do. Even setting a timer for scrolling of, hey, I'm going to allow myself on Facebook, but I only want to be on there for a max of 20 minutes. So you set a timer for 20 minutes, right? You scroll your 20 minutes and then you say, okay, I'm done. Maybe you'll go back to it later, but I'm done for right now. And then you're starting to create a good habit of, hey, I don't need to be on here forever. Or like I think I mentioned in a previous video, I downloaded an app once where every time I'd go to open a social media, it would say, hey, do you really want to do this? And make you take a deep breath first. And do you still want to open this app? So it makes you be more mindful of what you're doing, what you're fixing to step into, the endless addiction cycle you're fixing to let yourself get into for the next few hours. It usually is. Okay, so we've talked about our 7 reasons why technology is killing your mental health. We've talked about a few things you can implement today in order to step away from the limitless technology at our fingertips. Because I'm not saying technology is the enemy here. We love our technology, but we have to put a cap on it. We have to limit it. We have to put boundaries in place so it does not take over our lives and destroy our mental health. So take time today to reconnect with yourself. Be mindful. Listen to your body. Take a few minutes and just reconnect with you, the world around you, other humans. Human connection is so important so that we can continue on our journey of building our mental health every single day. Well, thank you so much for joining me here. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Feel free to catch up on our last week's video. And if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe so you can be notified. We release videos every single Wednesday. So just stay posted. Thank you so much for lasting this long. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.